Hey yo, it's Daeni and welcome to another video. Today is Which Watch Wednesday, and the watch that we're going to be talking about is going to be another G-Shock. Now I know a lot of y'all have been saying that I've been doing a lot of G-Shock reviews lately, but that's not my fault. The reality is metal watches are just harder to keep around, and the more expensive it gets, the difficult it gets. And if you have it in your home or you're on your property, there's like an insurance thing going around that's contagious. So G-Shocks are just easier to carry, and granted I have some pretty expensive G-Shocks, but they're not in the range. Like the cheapest G-Shock is about, the most expensive G-Shock is the same price as a cheap metal bracelet for me, if that makes any sense. But with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to hit that like and that sub, alright? So it really helps the channel out a lot. With that said, we're going to be talking about the GD120CM-8OS. This is a military style watch that is designed to look like urban camouflage, I think. Now, in the military, they have a pattern on the uniform that's like ACU. This looks nothing like that. It's the same color, but it's more of like the BDU color, a BDU pattern with the ACU color. Now, I don't know what they're using now. I mean, I do know, but it's definitely not this, nor in this range, but it's just a conglomerate of the two. If you want like a reference, it's not the digital, it's more camo, but gray. I don't even know if it's camo, to be honest with you, when I think about it, because everyone just, to me, camo means one thing, but to the world, camo means another. So they see something and they're just like, it's camo, and it's really not. It's just like a weird conglomerate color. Anyway, that said, let's just talk about some of the features. The wristband has a stainless steel buckle that's matte, so it looks like it's brushed steel, right? That's pretty, I appreciate that. I always appreciate metal bracket or strap bracket, because they will break. It ain't a matter about if, it's a matter about when. And if you wear the watch a lot, it will break, especially when you're going about doing, because you know I wear my G-Shocks and I do relatively aggressive things, so the watch will get scraped and like nicked and all these crazy things. And if the buckle is weak, well, guess what? That's a point of weakness, and that becomes a problem. The strap is a resin steel. Now the problem is, it looks good now because it's relatively new and unworn and untouched, but if you wear this watch heavily, this will come off. This stuff is all gonna come off. There is no escaping that. Like, that's just the name of the game. You buy a watch like this where they put these fancy patterns on it, it ends up coming off the watch. You know, I don't think that that's G-Shock fault, but I don't think that they're doing anything to stop that, because with watches like these where there's a specific pattern on the watch, not only on the strap, but it's on the bezel or the bezel frame. It's right here. You kind of got to match it, you know. So you may have to either buy another watch that's brand new and like replace the strap. I mean, it's weird, it's hard to find the exact match, or find one that's damaged, or maybe the watch isn't all good and the strap is still in good condition, and you can change it out if you want to keep that stock look, which is pretty decent. Because for the record, this is a pretty looking watch, okay? So, you know, and you might want to keep that design. All of these features kind of working together. So resin with a pattern on one side, a matte pattern on one side, and then there is no pattern on the other side. So everything underneath is basically gray. And my fear is that it will eventually start to peel. So, you know, on the bezel you have the same. Now it's a little bit off, but it's relative. It's supposed to be considered the same ACU or camouflage pattern on the rest of the watch. Okay, and it transitions pretty terribly, to be honest with you. I mean, it's gray, and I think the camera is doing it more justice than what it really looks like in real life. It's a bit of a darker tone, and it kind of looks more green than it looks like gray. So, you know, take that into consideration if you're looking at this watch. If you're looking into getting this watch, don't expect like a true match from the inside of the bezel to the outside of the bezel. It doesn't look the same. You get all of the features that you normally expect on a Casio, which says Casio, of course. Name all the different features the watch has to offer you, and the different settings with the day of the week in the top corner right here, And then the second hand, I mean, things no one really look at because you get all these features actually in the main like screen of the watch. So no one really looks at these things, but you get it. There are no special buttons, only the 4 buttons, the stop, the what's that, the forward, the light. Actually, it's less buttons than the average G-Shock, but they have like double functions, the mode and the adjust. Now those, they might be vary because you can't really read it on this, as you know, it's camouflage and the numbers, they're not really trying to accentuate terms like that. Next thing you want to look at on the watch is going to be the back, which is one of my favorite things about G-Shock. Very symmetrical. Now this means nothing to the average Joe, but it's just that, you know, sometimes when you look at your watch, you know, you just like the detail and the consistency. Like, you know, this is the top of the watch, this is the bottom of the watch. I don't really, it's not a deal breaker to buy a watch that don't do it, but it kind of creates a contradiction for me. But I move on. Pretty light watch, really big face. It has I want to say maybe a 52mm face. Is it millimeter? Yeah, 52mm face. So it's a relatively big. So if you have small hands, you know, depending on how you wear it, it'll look good. If you have big hands or huge hands, this is gonna look small. So the average person should be able to get away with this because most wrists gonna weigh in between like 6 to 9 inches. So, you know, no, it's okay. You know, negative display with like a red. No, it's a negative display with white, with the lights that I don't care for lights too much, but I have a video coming up with another watch that I previously did a review on, but I never really wore it until, you know, I was out on the road. So I was doing some work in it and I was like, oh man, this watch is actually pretty dope. And the features it gives you is cool, but they take away a lot. So, you know, stay tuned for that. But other than that, I genuinely don't like these lights on G-Shocks because I just feel like it really depends on the display and that can ruin the experience for you. So with that said, that's all I want to talk about as far as the watch. Oh, and then, you know, it don't have the quick release and you kind of have to screw the strap out. So keep that in mind. If you're the kind of person that want to change out your straps, or if you're thinking about buying aftermarket straps after these ones, you know, kick the bucket, you might want to consider, like, before you make this purchase, all of the what's the word I'm looking for? What you're going to be missing, basically. Like, all of the things you have to take into consideration, when you purchase a watch. You have to screw this the strap out. It's not quick release. It's this terrible light, and you know, but very military looking. So if you're in the military and you're trying to be stylish, this ain't gonna get no one's attention, but it might. You know, it coordinates well, right? It's gonna coordinate real well. Let's do a wrist check real quick before I let you guys go, or if you haven't already left. Right. All right, that's the wrist check, guys. It's not a bad looking watch. You know, you can get away with rocking very bulky at the least, right? Very bulky, but it looks pretty nice. You get good skin coverage, like I said, like 52mm. So you wanna remember that when you're buying this watch. Yeah, not bad, man. Listen, that's all I have for you. I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. Please hit that like and that subscribe. I'm not begging, but I need a big favor from you guys to help build this channel. And by, you know, checking out AYODaeni.com, www.ayodaeni.com, you can find multiple ways to contribute to the channel. But the thing you can do right now is just hit that like and that sub. You know, and you can share this video too. I appreciate everything you do. Leave some comments down below. Thank you for watching again. What do I normally say at the end of these videos? That's right, 1.